Come on, come on.
Canada is a very multicultural city, so and in this class, I see that everyone is really welcome. That's very nice. So I never feel I am coming from outside the country. So it's very welcoming environment and atmosphere. And as people are coming from, like especially in my program, people are coming from Nigeria, different parts of Canada, US, and so many India, of course. So everybody have different backgrounds in different subject matters, their experience, different teaching, what call environment. So they are coming with different perspectives and ideas. When there's a discussion of a particular topic, they throw different ideas based on their experience in their country. So that
Nobody can be everywhere all the time. Nobody can have all the experience themselves. But when you can bring people together with those various experiences, say you're talking about a particular geography in the class, and somebody happens to be from that area, they can speak to it with much more relevance than a textbook might be able to explain it. So we can talk about cultural difference, but if somebody has an anecdote to share or a real life exposure to that, that enriches everybody's experience.
So here we have a style that really handholds students quite a lot because there's assignments, there is quizzes, midterms, and final exams. So there is the need of keeping up. And it's not really possible that you say, oh, well, these 2 weeks I'm going to take a trip and then I'll come back and catch up. You cannot. So that's the way it works here. Here you really have to follow the class.
In terms of comparing the education system, and for me, Hong Kong is more like spoon feeding type of educational instruction, and here is more free thinking and just like not much guidance that I would have liked to receive at the beginning. So it was definitely struggle and challenging.
Like from high school to university, they're still expecting teacher to be the one who is taking responsibility to tell them and teach them and deliver the material. But actually, in university, I think it is the student who should be taking responsibility to seek out opportunities to learn and also to look for help if they need to.
I thought that the semester system is really good because we can take 9 credits and be full-time student here and just take 3 courses and have a part-time job too. So this is really cool. Especially at SFU, it's great that we have throughout the semester we have the grading system. Like for example, it's not only final exam that worth 90% or 100%. Throughout the semester, we have 50%, for example, for final exam, and then another 20 quizzes, 20 midterms. So it's not only final exam that you have to study the whole semester. You get prepared for the final exam by doing all your assignments and quizzes and midterms. So that's really good for students, especially when your English is your second language. So it's really hard to do only one exam and put all your effort in one thing. You have the chance to like test yourself and see what you're good at and ask your professor about your question and your TA. So there's always help for you here.
in India, according to my experience, if you're getting some marks, you're going to get that marks. Like maybe more than 80, you will definitely get A. It's not depends how many people are getting 80, but here that curves is confusing for me. Yeah, at the beginning. Yeah.
First week, he always encouraged people or the students to come to his office hours and ask him a question after the lecture. You go ahead after, like personally, I always go to my profs right after the lecture. I go to them and ask them like sometimes silly question, but I don't care. Like I go to, so the prof will know me between all these students, 200 students, and I'll get to know the prof and he get to know me, and uh, I can ask him whatever I want about the assignments, essays we have due, projects, and so it's really good to interact with your prof.
That's one thing I like to mention here. In India, what I experienced that teacher and student have a bit more respectful what call interaction. That means a student really respect a teacher a lot, like a parents or like that. We have been doing that thing. So, but here it's way more casual actually.
And I learned to respect the published stuff, but be critical. That's something that in I don't know, in some other cultures they don't teach you. They teach you, okay, whatever the teacher says is gold. Whatever the book says is gold. Never question. And here you learn, well, you may have to question. I wouldn't say go to the other extreme to say, okay, that book doesn't know a thing. For some reason it is published, but yet you can be critical of published material, of what the prof says. Sometimes the prof, I don't know, depends on the topic, right? I mean, 1 + 1 = 2. But in certain topics, there may be room for different opinions, of course. There is office hours, and office hours are for students to come and ask questions to the prof they don't understand. There's some people that come every week, some people don't come ever. In Uruguay, there is no such thing as office hours. The prof is that figure there far away, and only very brave people there to ask questions, and the others are like, oh, I shouldn't ask. Here, at least I do as faculty, I try to incentivize people, ask questions, ask questions. Plus here there are the TAs, and the TAs have office hours, labs. What are the TAs? They are just grad students, a bit more advanced students, willing to help and getting a little money for that, of course. And so there is really the that's a great opportunity, and people sometimes come from other cultures where they are told not to ask because it's not respectful or something, and that would be good that they don't think that way, that they come and talk to the instructors, and they have office hours from this time to that time, so they are there with the outdoor open, right, to receive people.